Welcome to Craven Park for this first match of the playoffs of the National League One between Old Kingston Rovers and guess who? Yes, it's that side we all love, not, we just hate, Doncaster Dragons.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. Been plenty said in the build-up to this game today. Obviously, the events of about 6-7 weeks ago still fresh in everyone's memories when Dale Allstock was cited for cracking one of them big daft lads who plays for Donny up front. I think the first 10 minutes of this game are going to be absolutely tasty as hell, to put it bluntly. Hopefully Martin Hall's got the message across, beat them with rugby, leave the physical stuff to them, because today refereeing is Carl Kirkpatrick, who is renowned as probably the biggest disciplinarian of all the Super League referees.
I would just like to say hello to the Rugby League Disciplinary Committee. You're probably watching this later, so just hello from me, from Rob and myself, and we're looking forward to a good match here. If Doncaster do leave the fisting out, they can be a fairly useful team, certainly with this bloke Graham Allroyd leading things, and Marlon Billy always gets a try in. Gary Amforth and Andrew Fisher, both good players. Martin Moana, who Rovers tried to sign earlier on in the season before Doncaster offered him what we consider to be silly money, and they're met by a just about full strength OKR side here.
Yeah, it's going to be Doncaster Dragons to start the game. Hull Kingston Rovers attacking the Preston Road end of the ground with a slight wind advantage behind them in the first half. Rovers be looking to put in a similar level of performance as what they did last week against the Rochdale Own. It's a shallow start by Doncaster. It's been palmed back and they've gathered it in, but then they've not. But Carl Kirkpatrick said that one went backwards. Not too sure if that was the correct decision, and Peter Green moves the ball to the left, and it's going to be Doncaster with the first territorial possession of the game. These big forwards are going to come charging in on us. They've got the likes of Andy Fisher. They've got Maya David on the bench today, a former Hull FC player who's quite a formidable opponent. As Green moves the ball inside to that man Fisher, who offloads. That's one aspect we need to cut down. And Allroyd's looking dangerous in this first minute of the game, and Rovers cover defence, gets across. It's a loose one by Doncaster. They've managed to offload and the kick comes in. It's high, it's swirling. Oh, and it's superbly gathered in by Paul Owen.
Yeah, great bit of play there by both sides. Doncaster really pressuring. They've started this match like they mean to go on, throw things about, and Kirkpatrick straight in there. Is Doncaster flying up in the tackle, and Kirkpatrick says they're offside, 5-10 yards, and it's a massive kick there by Manson. Just bouncing into touch, and it's from the 20-yard line to Doncaster's 20-yard line. What a kick. Paul Manson there, he saw the players out of position, got a nice kick, and he's bounced into the danger zone of the Doncaster Dragons, and he's coming in here. Beauville making a 5-10 yard run. Ace is looking to organise from the left-hand side, is switching back, and it's a good pass going out to Seabold. Seabold's passed it inside to Pinckney, but Pinckney's well wrapped up in the middle.
Yeah, Rovers hitting straight back, and good position set, but a poor ball by Andy Ellis, and Jamie Beauville's forced to go down and take the tackle to recover the ball. Here come the Robins. That is in fact Beauville. It was Manson who gathered the loose ball in, and Rovers losing momentum. Ellis now brings it to Manson. Manson with a little kick through it, rebounds, gathered in by the Doncaster player trying to milk a penalty. I think it was Alan Dunham, and Doncaster looking to clear the lines now. Kirkpatrick taking Rovers back a good 10 metres as Simon's favourite player Alex Muff runs off from the acting half. Here comes Marlon Billy. We managed to keep him off the score sheet the last time we played. He usually does score a try against Rovers, does Marlon Billy, Sam.
Yeah, I think we'll have to change the name of Alex Muff today, Rob, because we've been asked to keep the language down, so maybe change it to what? We'll have to think about that one, won't we? Just Alex, yeah, that's a certain one. Anyway, it's a kick down and a good kick by Doncaster, but the passing the ball out to Ali McLaren. It's great to see him back in the Rovers kit. Ball's coming out once again. It's in the hands of this man Paul Owen, who makes 5-6 yards before he's well held. Bovo taking the ball up, taking it up big, putting a little slip pass in, and it's in the hands of Hasty, but he's equally well wrapped up, and Rovers not doing much at the moment.
Yeah, the play's a bit too central, a bit down the middle of the park, and both packs just trying each other out for size. Here comes the big man, Mikhaili Azu, hands off the first man. Desperate Doncaster defence manages to bring him down about 5 metres inside the Doncaster half. It goes to Manson. Manson with a little chip over. It's measured. The chase is on, but Marlon Billy's across. And Phil Hasty finished off by Craig Poucher on an offside against the Robins. Well, that won't be allowed.
Well, yeah, the Doncaster playing moaning there because he taps it quick, but it's not allowed. It's been outlawed for a couple of years now to make the quick tap until the defensive team's back on side. And as it is, it's in the hands of, I think, Graham Anforth, who takes in his customary 10 yards. The ball coming out now to this number 12, Craig Lawton. He didn't do a great deal, he's well wrapped up. And it's in the hands of Peter Green, who passing the ball out. He's using the blind side there, but not effectively.
Yeah, Rovers have got to keep an eye on Andy Fisher. Twice he's had possession and twice he's managed to offload and create a dangerous position as a high tackle comes in from Jamie Boville. I think it was just reactionary more than intent, but he certainly caught the Doncaster player high. He's stayed on the ground, probably hoping to milk more than the penalty that's been awarded. That's Craig Owen. But Allroyd's going to pump this one into touch by the looks of it. Difficult to really gauge how strong the wind is from up in the commentary position. In fact, Doncaster have restarted with a tap, and Rovers are going to be asked the questions on defence again as that man Fisher takes the ball to midway inside the Rovers half of the field where Gareth Hanforth goes charging in. He lost that one, did Gareth Hanforth. It's a knock-on. The Rovers defence stood firm and forced the error from Gareth Hanforth.
Yeah, there's not a lot we need to say about this Doncaster team today. It's the 6th time we've played them this year. I think I've been to every single one. I think Rob's been to 5. We've pretty much gone through the team as much as it is. The likes of Martin Moana we've talked well about it as it is. It's this man Phil Hasty making a short break, passing the ball out, but he's well wrapped up and he's got to about the 40-metre line.
Yeah, Hasty made the half break and it was Mikhaili Azu goes charging in. He's looked really up for it today. There's the big Papa New. That's got to be a penalty. Interference at the play of the ball, and this will set up a good position for the Rovers. Obviously, with this wind advantage in the first half, they need to probably go in at half-time with at least a 12-point advantage, wouldn't you say, Sam?
Yeah, I'd say so. The way the match usually goes against Doncaster is that they lead and we come back and usually win the match quite well. I think 4 of the games have won out of 5 this year. As it's in the hand of Manson, he's passing the ball out to Hasty. Hasty getting the ball out, and it's a good pass on to McLaren. Going round the outside for the first shot of the match. Superb, quick handling there. Used the outside, went past the right winger, Dean Colton. But Doncaster, like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, it was that man Phil Hasty who instigated the move. He moved the ball to the left. Paul Parker timed the run superbly, timed the ball to the flying wingman Alistair McLaren, and once McLaren was in the clear, there was never going to be any doubt that the 4-pointer was coming the way of Hull Kingston Rovers, and in the 7th minute, Hull Kingston Rovers take the lead, 4-0.
The thing about this wingman Rob, he might not be the quickest wingman in rugby league, but he certainly knows where that try line is, and time again he shows it, and he's back where he rightfully should be on that left wing for OKR. Now it's Craig Poucher taken. Rob just informing me. Craig Poucher kicked well last week. I was unfortunately delayed on a fishing weekend in Wales. I know it's inexcusable, but it just happened. Anyway, it's Pouch's take a kick, I would say no more than about 5 metres from this left-hand side. With swirling wind, and he's judged the wind perfectly. Goes sailing through the post, and it's Old Kingston Rovers 6, Doncaster Dragons 0. I tell you what, Rob, the good thing about this match so far is there doesn't seem to be any dirty play going on. No stiff arms, no fists, no off the ball. It's good to see.
Well, the aim of the playoffs is to progress to the grand final for the gain promotion to Super League. If you reduce your team down to 12 men, then you're just not going to be able to get that momentum and win the game. So both teams they're relying on good discipline today, which is good to see. I mean, obviously we know why Kirkpatrick's been put in charge. As the big man goes charging in once again, Macaulay Azu. Rovers go to the short side with Anthony Seaball. Seaball's brought down, he just crossed the halfway line. Damien Ball, whoa, it's a big hit on Damien Ball. It's the 5th and last against the Robins. Goes back to Manson. Manson with a crossfield kick. Parker's after it. The wingman for Doncaster covered well, Dean Colton, and manages to make about 4 or 5 metres.
Yeah, I think it's a good kick that. The wind just caught it. It was so high and took it maybe another 5-10 yards than it was meant to go. And in the end, Dean Colton tracked back well and caught it without a great deal of pressure. Marlon Billy there playing the ball quickly. The ball coming out, I think, to the left winger there. Centre Gareth Floyd, who didn't do a great deal in the previous match. He's held down. Ball once again coming out. It's in the hands of Craig Lawton, who's passed the ball off to this off. Off's running wide. Off's got a bit of a gap, and he's turned his back. He's pinged him every single done, and in the end, it takes a great tackle from Macaulay Azu to bring him down.
Yeah, the Rovers defence just seemed to stand off Chris off then, and it's set up a good position for the Doncaster Dragons. A kick's coming from Holroyd and well taken by Ali McLaren. Not always the strongest point of Ali McLaren's game, but he dealt with that one well and took the pressure off the Kingston Rovers defence, and Rovers will be looking to these big forwards now to clear the lines, and here's the biggest of them all, Macaulay Azu. Always takes 2 or 3 men to bring Macaulay Azu down. Rovers just standing on a bit flat there, Sam. No real momentum as Ellis runs off, takes the tackle of his opposite number, Peter Green. It's the 5th and last against the Robins. It's with that man Manson once again. Manson, well, it's certainly got plenty of height, not much distance, and well taken by Alex Muff. Penalty, looks as though it's going to go to Doncaster here. In fact, Muff was appealing to Kirkpatrick for something, and Kirkpatrick's penalised him for basically back chat, I suppose you'll have to call it, and I don't suppose St John Ellis will be too happy down there with his right centre there.
Yeah, I thought about this Muff bloke who's been asked to keep the language down. Rob, about front bottom? Alex front bottom all match, all right. Anyway, once again he's using his mouth and causing penalties for the opposition. Anyway, it's in the hands of Hasty. He puts a little slip ball through. I think is it Damien Ball who's got the ball in his hand. He's always tricky customers. Al Ellis passing the ball out to Macaulay Azu. He's throwing half a dummy, but he's well wrapped up by Andy Fisher. Ball slowly played. It's in the hands of Hasty once again. Manson putting a little slip ball to Owen. He's desperately trying to throw off the number 9 Green.
Yeah, Doncaster pinned back onto their own line now as this red and white attack builds in momentum. There's a chance now. Nick Pinkney going for the line. Oh, he stopped about 2 metres short. The ball's going to be moved inside. In fact, it's dropped deep to Hasty. Hasty with a crossfield kick. It looks a bit of a waste, does that one? Yeah. The idea was right, but poor execution from the Rovers number 7 there, and Doncaster with a quick restart. But good tackle by Manson, but looks as though Rovers was looking to register the second try of the game there, but just caught out by the narrowness of this Craven Park pitch once again.
Yeah, it was a fair point that, Rob. Yeah, if on a normal pitch you would have had that extra 5 yards, would have been on the outside. But anyway, as it is, it's that number 9 again who's having a great game for Doncaster. Peter Green making a break right down the middle. The ball's coming out to Well, eventually to the winger, who's put into a bit of a gap, but immediately closed down by Alistair McLaren. It's on the 5th tackle, no more than 20 yards, 25 yards away, and it's a little half kick, and the ball's out to Craig Poucher, who's taking the ball up to what, the 40-metre line.
Yeah, good instinctive run back, Craig Poucher. Caught Doncaster flat-footed, and Rovers could cross the halfway now as Owen joins the line. Owen with a dummy! Owen's away! He's got support! Oh! He's brought down by Marlon Billy. Rovers centre field. Will Phil Hasty. Hasty to Seabold. Seabold offloads, but desperate Doncaster defence brings the Robins down. 11 metres short of the line. It's Ellis to Hasty. Hasty sells. Oh, he could have got himself, could Hasty. It's the 5th and last against the Robins. It's with Manson. Manson. Inside ball. Chance now. Oh, it's this way. Jason Neverson's gone over for Hull Kingston Rovers. Second try of the game. It was on the last tackle. Rovers kept the ball alive. And in the 14th minute, Hull Kingston Rovers extend the lead. 10 points to 0.
Great little ball there. Hasty maybe could have got himself to start with through a dummy. Lovely little inside ball, perfectly timed, drew the man, made the gap, and Manson put Netherton through, used his strength just to get that extra yard, put the ball down, and it's, as it is, it's left the kick about 10 yards from this left-hand side in a swirling sort of easterly, south-easterly wind. Just to let you know, Pierre, we've got a hell of a lot of interest in this match today. It shows the sort of interest you attract when you're looking to get in the Super League. We've got, what, 6 or 7 cameras up here, and all sorts going on. As it is, Pouch just slips it over, nonchalant. Totally ignored the swirling wind and went straight from the middle of the post to make the score. Hull Kingston Rovers 12, Doncaster 6, and Rovers are good for it, Rob.
Yeah, they're playing well. One thing noticeable about Doncaster is Graham Allroyd's had no impact on this game so far. Usually causes 1 or 2 problems for us, does Allroyd, but it's been well wrapped up. The only Doncaster players really with any go forward are the hooker Peter Green and the old-timer Andy Fisher. So hopefully that'll continue as that one's palmed back. And they've regathered possession once again through Alex Muff. And this rugby union style restart, well, Rochdale caused us problems last week, and I think they've probably watched the video of last week's game because they're employing the same tactics as Maya David's on now for Doncaster. Gareth Anforth offloads to Martin Moana, and Moana brought down as Green offloads to Allroyd. Allroyd's running at the Rovers' defence, brought down by Anthony Seabold. It's the 5th and last. Moana with a little kick through. Looks as though it's going to have too much depth on it, and indeed it does have.
One of the best passage of play there from Doncaster. Certainly Graham Anforth getting involved there and causing all sorts of problems, but a fantastic tackle there from Damien Ball in the centre, stop things all together. Anyway, it's Alistair McLaren looking to start things off. He's pushed off the first man, and he makes it up to what, the 30-metre line. Once again, it's Nick Pinkney making the yard, lads, and now they'll be looking for a forward, and this forward's in the shape of Michaela Azul. Gets rather a poor ball there from Phil Hasty, but still takes up to the 40-metre line, and we're on the 3rd tackle. The ball's out once again to Manson. Manson's looking tricky, and it's a great ball! Oh, superb ball from Andy Smith. And they're saying that the Doncaster bloke just knocks it down, but Kirkpatrick's having none of it, and it says head and feed to Doncaster. A bit of backtrack there from Andy Smith, and Kirkpatrick sticking up to his reputation as being a disciplinarian. It's a very, very poor kick from Doncaster, which is going to give the ball straight back to Rovers in the hands of Paul Parker, who brings the ball around. What's it doing? What? Well, I don't know. I won't comment on it.
Yeah, 1 or 2 aspects of play to go through there. First of all, Paul Manson's got the ability to rip this Doncaster side apart today. They're not living with him. And then it was followed by a bit of back chat by Andy Smith, which he needs to cut out. A poor kick from Doncaster, and Rovers are in possession in more or less the same field position as what they had when they dropped the ball. So, to be fair to Kirkpatrick, he's not taking any nonsense from either team today. He's keeping them back a good 10. As Phil Hasty gets away, Hasty! Oh, what a try! What a try for Hull Kingston Rovers! It's that man, Phil Hasty! He's done it all season and he's done it again today. He opens up this Doncaster Dragons defence and sends Andy Ellis in underneath the post. Hull Kingston Rovers 16, Doncaster Dragons 0.
Well, Rob, to be honest, you hate to tempt Providence, but it goes so far as to say this is easy. Rovers half-backs are tearing Doncaster apart. They're finding gaps through the middle, on the outside, everywhere. I think Rovers are just looking like they maybe picked at the right time. We've got a full squad. There's hardly anybody missing. I think we've only got old stock really who's missing out of this squad, and certainly with there's only maybe Whitehaven who needs to be scared of. Rob says we maybe can't write Lee off, but I think with Tommy Martin and Paul Rowley missing, there's only Taylor keeping them in the game really. Anyway, as it is, we've kicked the ball underneath the post, and it makes it Hull Kingston Rovers 18, Doncaster Dragons unbelievable.
Yeah, Rovers coach Martin Hall couldn't have wished for a better start. First 5 or 10 minutes, the big two packs collided, tested each other out. But now Rovers have certainly got the measure of this Doncaster side. They can't cope with the quality of Phil Hasty and Paul Manson, and the Rovers players are just, they're running off them because they know that them guys are going to create the gaps. I mean, we could this one, without tempting fate, we could put this one out of sight by half-time. Just keep this level of performance up. I mean, look at this. Doncaster don't know which way to turn.
Yeah, great little run there, but if you'd given it, McKennie's always away. As it is, I think it's Seabold making the hard yards down the middle. Yeah, it is at Seabold. It's out to Ellis. Ellis making a run straight down the middle, and he's got Phil Hasty to the left. And that's got himself. Well, oh no, that was just well.
I'm afraid young Andy Ellis has cost us 6 points there. He had, I think it was Jamie Boville screaming for the ball on his right-hand side. He had Phil Hasty absolutely scorching up on his left-hand side. Bit of inexperience on the part of the young lad there, but it certainly cost us a try. But how easy was it for him to make the break? He went through one tackle and went 50 yards. I mean, have Doncaster turned up for this game or what?
Yeah, it's a fair point there, Rob. I mean, the usual play of Doncaster is fire and brimstone, really, isn't it? It's taking them on, and it certainly is a fantastic chance for Doncaster. But once again, he don't pass the ball, and there's Marlon Billy screaming for it. Ball's coming out to, I think it's Maya David, who gets the ball out once again. There's a lot of broken play here by Rovers. They need to get a good line out. There's some big gaps in the middle of the field. Ball coming out to the big number 17, Dean O'Loughlin, which I ain't heard of before. It's out here to that number 15, James Walker, who takes the ball in, but best off the first man.
Yeah, it's the fifth and last for Doncaster as Moana takes the ball in. It's Mikhaili Azou. Mikhaili Azou gathers the ball in, he offloads. Oh, he could have offloaded it. Poucher would have been scorching down that right-hand touchline, but as it is, Doncaster, every time they have threatened the Rovers' defence, has held firm. And well, significant for Doncaster, that number 15, James Walker's on, as Maya Davids absolutely wipes out a Rovers player on that right-hand touchline. Didn't quite see if it was an illegal hit, but certainly the touch judge was straight on. Kate Patrick's going to be having a word with Maya David here.
Maya David, a new starting for Doncaster. It's just the sort of player Doncaster love. Sticks it in, and stuck it in once again. This is the trouble with this Doncaster side. They've got some good players, some good play, but they give away too many penalties. Happens time and time again, and usually they finish a match without the full 13 players. Michaeli Azul has gone off, and it's replaced by an equally formidable person in the shape of Frank Watini, who really wants the ball, takes it in, and straight into that Peter Green, who holds him up well.
Yeah, Doncaster was a mile offside at that play of the ball. Leonard's Rovers are keeping this ball alive, and Frank Watini offloads to Phil Hasty. Hasty offloads to Manson. Manson, oh, he's almost away. It's Manson, he offloads to Owen. Owen, oh, that looked hard by the Doncaster player, but Rovers keeping this ball alive now. Manson with the ball again to Hasty. Seabold, ball, oh, the ball's gone into touch. I think Nick Pinkney was stood in touch as he received that ball, but Rovers keeping this ball alive, playing good attacking rugby league football. Got this 18 points to nil advantage, and well, basically they're not giving Doncaster a sniff. They look dangerous every time they get into the Doncaster Dragons danger zone.
Doncaster just got no answer to this. This is the best some of the best rugby I've seen Rovers play for a long time, really. They just look so in command, it looks so easy. A fantastic tackle there by Paul Manson, and Beauville just wraps the Doncaster player up, and a little bit of over-eagerness there, and just let him off the hook a little bit. Anyway, it's just Walker taking the ball in, but he gets no more than about 10 yards. The ball coming out once again to this Dino Laughlin, who takes the ball in well actually, and takes it nearly up to the halfway line. Ball coming out once again to I think it's Craig Lawton, who don't get a great deal of distance.
Yeah, Doncaster just crossing the halfway line. The ball's fired out to O'Loughlin, who trundles up next about 4 or 5 metres as they go to the short side with Allroyd. Allroyd offloads. It's gone wide to Marlon Billy, and Billy's offloaded, and there's a real chance now for Doncaster. Last ditch tackle by Paul Owen, but Rovers pinned back on their own line, and it's going to be a sin binning for Paul Owen for a professional foul on Graham Allroyd. Stopped Allroyd getting to his feet, and Rovers are going to play the next 10 minutes with only 12 men, and Doncaster with a penalty right in front of the post. They're going to have to run it with this 18 points lead for the Rovers, but a real chance now for Doncaster to hit back. Rovers conceded 2 tries against Rochdale from a similar position last week, and they've done it again. They've committed the cardinal sin. I mean, that can only go down as poor defence.
Yeah, it's just Rovers. It always has been, hasn't it? We always get in front of the let soft tries, and then once again, bloke went arm. Maybe should have gone a bit lower, should have squeezed him in, and as it was, they just let Doncaster off the hook with a couple of daft errors, really. I don't think there's any real need for Paul Owen to hold down then. It was the last tackle, and Rovers had got a line back, but he did, and he's off. And as it is, it looks like Paul Fletcher coming on, and is it Jimmy Walker? Yeah, Jimmy Walker also. I know Paul Fletcher's certainly eyeing up this Walker guy of Doncaster. He loves it when it gets fired off, and Doncaster missed the kick by a mile.
18, Doncaster Dragons 4.
Yeah, it's Beauville coming off, and correctly predicted by Rob there, and Andy Ellis, and Walker going off to hooker.
It's going to be Hull Kingston Rovers to restart this game with his 18 points to 4 lead. We're in the 28th minute of this National League One playoff game here at New Craven Park. As Poucher restarts the game, it's high, it's long, it's rebounded off the wingman Dean Colton, and Colton's knocked on, and this gives Rovers a real chance to get straight back now after conceding that try to Martin Moana. If Rovers can hit back with a try of their own, it'll really make this Doncaster Dragons team, it'll make the Reds drop, especially with Rovers being down to 12 men with that sin binning of Paul Owen. As Paul Fletcher, our new streamlined standoff. We're going to see a Steve Hartley style handoff step from Paul Fletcher. They've gone to the short side for Wastley. Brings in McLaren. McLaren must have been about 12 inches short of the line there. Hasty offloads some. Andy Smith wearing 15 for Rovers. Rovers need to move this ball out. They've got a good line across the field now. Manson fires it past. Oh, there could have been an interception. But Nick Pinkney goes in the corner. A well-wet try from the scrum. Rovers took it to the left-hand side. Switched the play right across. The ball was fired out. To be fair, it was very, very close to being intercepted by Marlon Billy, but he missed it, and Nick Pinkney said thank you very much. Rovers' 4th try of the game, 22 points to 4.
That's quite a class for Rovers today, and I think the only thing that Marlon Billy could really do then was sort of look towards going for an interception, because it was 3-on-1. I know from up here we're 50-60 foot up, maybe further. It looks easy when you can see the overlap, but they're all sucked into the right, and I think there was only one player out to the left for Doncaster, and it's just so easy, isn't it, Rob, at the moment?
Yeah, Rovers are playing well, and to be fair, they've played well for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and if ever the time to whip form, it's the end of season playoffs. Obviously, if we can get through today, we've got another home game against either Aldermore, Featherstone, who I believe we've beat both teams here at Craven Park this season. Craig Poucher's kicking like an absolute dream. To be fair, I didn't know Poucher had it in his locker. I didn't realise that he was that good a kicker.
Oh, well, like you said, he's suddenly found form. He must have been practising, and well, that good. We've got a Bradford fan next to us, and he says he's changing allegiances. He wants to see a bit of fast-playing rugby. So yeah, fair play to him. Graham Allroyd once again using that kick, and this seems to be the only thing they've got. But this time, Andy Smith takes a great kick.
Yeah, well taken in from the restart by Andy Smith, and Frank Martini goes over the halfway, but he's lost the ball in a 3-man tackle. There was O'Loughlin was in there, Green was in there, and Walker was in there, and the impact of being brought to ground made the ball squirm from the grasp of Frank Martini, and Doncaster have the ball through Moana, who crosses the halfway line, but Rovers defence holding firm, still down to 12 men for a few more minutes yet, as Paul Owen's still in the sin bin.
Yeah, and certainly you can't tell that they've got 12 men. Doncaster out making full use, but they've just passed the ball out now, and it's in the hands of that Peter Green once again, who gets a good ball out to Moana. Oh, puts a 2 yards forward pass out, and I think Sports Billy knew it, but he still stopped. He stopped, didn't he then? Yeah,
but Doncaster looking dangerous here through the scrum half. Chris Hoff, but good tackle by big Frank Martini, and Rovers holding firm. Doncaster 2 tackles remaining. It's with Allroyd. He fires one out, but what a hit by Paul Parker. He saw that coming and he said to Muff, thank you very much, get down son. A good crossfield kick, and there's 2-on-1 against the Robins here. But Pinkney come up with a ball, and he got on, the ball's gone loose. And it's play on, and Marlon Billy stole the ball from Pinkney 1-on-1. Frank Martini tries to steal the ball back, and it's non-stop here at the moment as O'Loughlin goes thundering through. Rovers looking to hold firm as Hoff offloads to Walker. Walker releases the ball, but it's gone backwards, and Doncaster losing ground as Frank Martini, in fact it was Paul Fletcher, he absolutely mullered the scrum half then. And Fletcher, who's saying that he's willing to play another season.
I'll tell you what, Rob, I won't doubt it. When he's fired up, there still ain't many better players. Anyway, as it is, it's that number 13, Moana, making a great run, and taking them very close. It's on the 5th tackle. And once again, it's daft bit of play really, but I think it might have been needed that time. Rovers were at 6 and 7s, right on the line. I don't know what's happening now. They're saying they're offside or something. They don't seem to have a lot of defence there on the line. Doncaster look to be passing it right, and they are in the hands of this number 17, Dean O'Loughlin. He ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah, we've got to be really vigilant here, Simon. All the tries we've conceded in recent weeks have been from short range like this, and we just really need to batten down the hatches now. As Watini brings down Moana, Doncaster moving it, delayed pass by Peter Green to Walker, but Walker brought down, and they're going to that short side every time. That's where Rochdale got their 2 tries last week, and Doncaster have already got one today in that area. On. Well, he's the referee, he's going to say play on. And Moana's going for the line, and Moana scores. I think a lot of the Rovers players stopped, think it was a knock-on. Doncaster played to the whistle, and Moana's got his 2nd try of the game, and he's brought Doncaster back into this. Hull Kingston Rovers 24, Doncaster 8, and Kirkpatrick's bringing over one of the Rovers players. I think it's Craig Poucher. I think Poucher said something about the passage of play there, but I suppose Doncaster did what he's supposed to do. They played to the whistle.
Yeah, but I mean that second one, Rob, he knocks it forward and it bounced backwards. I mean, you've knocked it forward, haven't you? That's the thing. You knock it forward, it bounces backwards. It doesn't matter what happens. And might have been, not been the first one, might have bounced backwards, but anyway, as it is, it's play on, and I think Doncaster are very fortunate to go in with 10 points on the board. Yeah, that's it. Okay, at 24, Doncaster 10.
Number 7 is Hall.
Certainly this Mark Moana, though, is a dangerous character, isn't he, when he's got the ball.
24, Doncaster Dragons 10.
Yeah, I thought so as well, Rob, yeah.
It's going to be Rovers to restart this game with this 14-point advantage. Well, we said 12 with the wind would probably be sufficient, and on balance of play, Rovers are probably better than 14 points today, but they've conceded 2 soft tries as Owen's timing the sin bins up, and Rovers are back to a full strength 13. Deep restart. Oh, it bounced! It bounced! It's a great restart by Rovers, and a mistake by Dean O'Loughlin for Doncaster. It was judged to perfection. Allroyd restarts the game. It's gathered in by Andy Smith. Drop out from Doncaster. Rovers still on the attack through Manson. Manson offloads to Paul Fletcher. Fletcher's got 2-3 men hanging on to him. He's brought down midway inside the Doncaster half. It's going to be Jimmy Walker. Walker spins the ball out to Hasty. Hasty to Seabold, who brings in Pinkney at the angle. Pinkney brought down 17 metres from the Doncaster posts. Walker to Hasty. Hasty brings Watini in. Watini steps. Desperate defence by Doncaster. They'll be hoping to keep the Robins out before half time. As Jimmy Walker runs off from the acting half, it's the 5th and last. They need a quick play the ball. It's with Phil Hasty. Hasty, attempted drop. And he made an absolute pig's ear of that one, did Phil Hasty. Doncaster will get the 20-metre restart. So Doncaster now looking to clear the lines. It's with Green. Goes to the short side and feeds Gareth Lloyd, and Lloyd skips around the outside. That's poor defence by Rovers. There was 3 Rovers defenders there against the 1 Doncaster player, and he managed to get away from him as Allroyd offloads to Moana. That partnership starting to become a little bit more influential for Doncaster in this latter stages of the first half as Maya David drives the ball in for Doncaster. 4 men round him, managed to bring him to ground. Ball's with Hoff. Hoff spins it to Allroyd. Allroyd. Oh! Well, there was a chance there. There was a knock-on. Unfortunately so for Rovers, because the gap had opened up and had winger Dean Colton managed to take that. I think that it would have been in the corner. He was running at pace. Unfortunately, as far as the Doncaster Dragons are concerned, the ball went to ground. And Hastie'll feed this scrum 20 metres inside the Rovers half. Doncaster an absolute mile offside from the scrum there. When finally Kate Patrick blows up for it. Suppose it was good refereeing in the end. He waited to see if there was any advantage. As Allroyd's thrown his toys out the pram, as he usually tends to do when things aren't going his way. That's a tremendous kick by Hull Kingston Rovers. On my watch, we're about a minute of normal play remaining in this first half. As Frank Martini gets charging in. The ball's with Hastie, who switches the play. Jimmy Walker feeds Seabold, who brings in Pinkney. Pinkney does well. Oh, what he's going to get it. Oh, it's a try for Nick Pinkney. What tremendous play by Nick Pinkney. It was only the second tackle, but he kicked the ball through. I've got a feeling it would have been a penalty try anyhow, because it was dragged back by the Doncaster player, but his strength managed him to get him clear, and Pinkney's gone over for his second try of the game, right on the stroke of half-time. It's Rovers' 5th try, and the lead by 28 points to 10. Poucher adds on his easiest conversion of the game so far. And there goes the half-time hooter. And Rovers go into the dressing rooms at half-time with a tremendous lead of 30 points to 10.
Rovers 30, Doncaster Dragons 10. Half-time score at Wayne Park.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of this National League playoff match, and obviously me and Rob have just been off for a cup of tea at half time, and Rob's just on the oxygen mask. You have to give him 5 or 10 minutes. Anyway, starting off again with the fantastic score of OKR 30, Doncaster Dragons 10, and Rovers really have torn this Doncaster side apart, and they deserve it and more probably, Rob. I'll let him get his breath back. First penalty, I think I said our tackle coming in from possibly Paul Parker there. That leaves Doncaster. They've had 4 tackles and still stuck in their own 40. And as it is, they're in Rovers half with 6 tackles to go. Oh! And there's straight from the first tackle, knocks on from the big O'Loughlin. And he's seen it this time. Frank Martini goes running in. He had the ball ripped out from off. I think they missed it last time, but this time he saw it, and As it is, it's Manson's kicking to touch. He makes what, only 5-6 yards. Ball coming out to Hasty.
Yeah, in this second half, the Doncaster Dragons will have that slight breeze advantage, but it's going to take a massive effort to overcome this 30 points to 10 lead that Kingston Rovers have built up. And, well, knocking on as they did with the first use of the ball there through O'Loughlin, it's not going to be their days. Big Psycho goes charging in. I mean, look at that. I mean, they're absolutely clinging to him, and he's still on his feet. Oh, he's offloaded! Tremendous play by Paul Fletcher. We've seen that many, many times over the years, and he's still going strong. As Manson offloads to Hasty inside ball to Owen. Owen pins back his ears and goes for the line. Desperate Doncaster Dragons defence, and Rovers camped on this Doncaster line once again. Oh, Manson, he tried to measure a little kick for the corner, but he took his eye off the ball, and Doncaster able to mop up the ball and try and clear the lines. Jason Neverton's come back onto the field, and Damien Ball's taking a bit of a breather as James Walker trundles the ball up for Doncaster. That's the best you can really describe it, because he's got no pace and he doesn't really break tackles. Why he's on the field, I don't know.
Well, he's wide enough that he fills about 10 yards, doesn't he? So, anyhow, it's Graham. All right, puts the kick in, but the Doncaster bloke, Muffy's well offside and equally misses the tackle. And it's Pinckney who makes a good 10 yards, returning that kick before he's wrapped up by Dean O'Loughlin. Ball in the hands of Paul Parker, takes the ball on. It's I think Walker trying to rip the ball out, but Parker keeps well and truly hold of it. Frank Watini wants the ball. He takes it, puts a good ball out to Hasty. Hasty coming out. It's in Seabold's and Seabold out to the number 3. Palchus should have passed it but kept hold.
Yeah, Rovers still moving this ball, switching the play. Everything's going through Hasty and Manson. Oh, that's a poor ball. Poor ball by Anthony Seabold to Nick Pinckney. Tried to caught Doncaster napping, but the ball squirmed from the grasp of Nick Pinckney. It was slightly behind him, and Doncaster will be glad as the pressure is taken off them. But should Rovers get the next try, Simon, how long do you think it'll be before the Doncaster headhunters start coming to the fore? And oh, the ball's gone loose. Knock on. It must be a Rovers knock on, otherwise it'd have surely played some type of advantage there. Yeah, in fact, it's gone to Doncaster.
Well, it should have been a penalty then, because it was 2-on-1, shouldn't it? Right. Saying the first knock. Well, I don't know. Anyhow, as it is, it's Doncaster head and feed. What, no more than 22 yards from their own line. Ball's coming out here to this Hoff, who makes a little run. It's quite a young to play this off. He's done a few runs, certainly running out wide, utilising. Allroy puts a forward pass in there, but the referee ignores it. It's in the hands of Walker, who streaks with the elbow but gets nowhere. And Frank Watini, he gets some payback probably for a couple of the games. Mia David, he runs in, knocks the ball on. Rovers picks it up, passed it out. It's play on, but the referee just ignored it and says. And as it is, it's a scrum down bang on the halfway line here, just about on the centre spot. With Phil Hayes with the ball in his hands, and it's looking to go out to the left. There's no full back. Paul Owen running the ball up, but I don't know quite what had happened there. They bring an extra man up into the line, they're risking it a bit. Paul Parker takes the ball up. It's his second good run this half.
In fact, I think it was Jimmy Walker actually. Jimmy Walker still in the hooking role. Hasty brings in the big man, Frank Watini, who returns the ball. Fletcher now. Fletcher sees a gap. He's got a man clinging to him and he's still going. Well, cameo performance by Paul Fletcher. Quick play, the ball brings in Manson. Manson, there's a 3-on-2 chance now, but the force to come in field is Ali McLaren, ran out of room. But Rovers still looking dangerous. Still with his healthy leaders. Watini pins back his ears and goes for the post. And it's the 5th and last against the Robins. They need to get the ball to Manson or Hasty. It's with Manson, and there's the 1-pointer. Drop goal by Paul Manson just extends this lead. It's now Hull Kingston Rovers 31, Doncaster Dragons 10.
Yeah, I think some of our fellow commentary and video and staff up here are used to the conditions here at OKR, as me and Rob here in summer gear, and these wrapped up like it's Siberia, but the ice only breaks here in about May and starts forming again against about September up on this top stand. As it is, it's Rovers with the ball in their hand and taking the ball up to about 35-metre line. The score's 31 points to OKR and 10 points to Doncaster. It's that number 15, Andy Smith, who takes the ball in. They look to push him to touch, but he gets to the ground well. Bit of help there from Craig Poucher. Craig Poucher takes the ball up, but he's tackled by Muff. Muff desperate to stick it in a bit, but decides not to. The ball out once again to Frank Watini, who takes the ball on and half beats the first man. Looks to slip it, but in the end is well held. Ball coming out to Manson. He really has been the danger man. He puts a kick in, just a deep touch-rounded kick, and that'll do really, Rob, won't it?
Yeah, sensible rugby league football. Rovers have got a commanding lead. They don't really need to do anything else now. Just play the sets of 6. I'm sure a couple more tries will come because, well, Doncaster haven't been at the races basically because Rovers haven't let them. They hit them from minute 1, took command, and that's the way the pattern of the game's gone. Doncaster have got it all to do.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to bar the DVD, this bloke next to me, because he's had it pointing at the Doncaster bench all match. If he'd come to the last match, it would have been very interesting watching, but there you go. Anyway, the ball's in the hands of Gareth Lloyd as well. Tackled, they're chucking the ball back now. Oh, and he still kicks the ball through. He's so quick, this lad, isn't he? He's just so quick. Slight mistake there for me and David Philhurst, who's on it.
Well, should it have been the first knock on? That's the question. The referee saying that Hasty was in control of that and then knocked on, so the scrum down's gone to Doncaster. Moana feeds Allroyd. Allroyd's running. He's running off. He's offloaded inside, and for 1 second there was a chance of a Doncaster break. Kate Patrick took the Robins back to the halfway line as here come Doncaster again. But well wrapped up by... Oh, and there. Penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers. Alex Muff trying to... I think he was trying to con the referee, was Muff, and that serves him right for being a twat.
I'm sure that'll get cut out by our video commentator. I'd like to say, just point out anyway, it's Frank Watini running in there, and despite the tackle of, I think it was off Phil Hasty, giving the ball to Paul Fletcher, who's really looking to make a name for himself in this match and secure his contract for next year. And I tell you what, the way he's played the last few games, I don't see a reason why not. I'd give him a contract for next year, wouldn't you, Rob?
Yeah, certainly would, as Rovers are looking to really finish this game off now. It's Magic Man Hasty. He's dragged to the ground by desperate Doncaster defence. Doncaster pinned to their own line. Rovers switch the play to Manson. Manson's through. One drop of the shoulder, and Manson ghosted through without a finger laid on him. We've seen it many times from this man, Paul Manson. The team still don't know to stop him. He's gone over for Rovers' 6th try of the game, and it's becoming a stroll in the park for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yeah, it's just beautiful to watch, really. It's just constant, non-stop pressure on this side. Doncaster side, whether the Rovers are in attack or they're in defence, there's no holding back for this Doncaster side at all. And Manson just, they don't know what he's going to do. They don't know if he's going to pass the ball, set something up, and they just have to stand off him because they can't commit themselves. And as it was, he just dropped the shoulder, and he's got the strength just to put him through that gap. And he goes through unopposed, putting the ball down about 10 yards from the far touchline with another fairly difficult kick for Craig Poucher. He's facing the wind, and the way he's been kicking today, he'll probably slap this over. Yeah, once again, just walks up nonchalantly, gives it a pop, no step back at all, and hardly at all, and it stretches the score to Hull Kingston Rovers, 37 points, Doncaster 10.
The successful conversion for Hull Kingston Rovers, number 3, Craig Poucher.
Anyway, there might be some fun and games coming on here because Mia David's gone off, and so has James Walker, and back comes Andy Fisher and Graham Anfuff, and with it being possibly the last match of the year, and in Andy Fisher's case, with his age, maybe being his last match at all, there could be some fun and games starting. As it is, Mikali Azo's come back on for Frank Watini. It's not a lot of respite, that really. Poucher taking the ball up, he gets a good run, takes him to the 40-metre lap. Phil Lacey passing the ball out to Seabold, who takes it in well, but is well wrapped up by
Substitutions for Doncaster Dragons.
Dino Loughlin. Rovers just looking for draft at the moment, Rob.
Yeah, they're in total control of the Robins, and that's a great kick from Manson. It took a wicked bounce up, and Marlon Billy tries to make some ground for Doncaster, but brought down. And at 37 points to 10, this Rovers can really look forward to a home tie against Oldham or Featherstone Rovers next week. A bit close to call who the opponents will actually be. I think I'd rather play Featherstone than play Oldham, because historically Oldham have turned us over once or twice, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I think once or twice in the playoffs as well. I think last year, might have been last year, they absolutely murdered us in the playoffs, 37 points. So, but this side look a totally different side to the side I've had last year. And a great tackle there once again from Craig Poucher. Really took the wind out of Fisher. That's a massively hard kick. And Pinckney's underneath it. Oh no, it's Alistair McLaren. He was safely underneath it. Picked the ball up, and it's Phil Lacey to half done with the ball out, but they're not falling for it, and trying to stick the dirty one, and I guess who it is? It's that Alex front bottom, but he's this time the referee ignores him, as they always seem to be blind when it comes to Alec Moore.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch this closely now, because the game's won. Oh, God! Andy Smith! Oh, superb offload by Mikali Azu, and Andy... Oh, did you see that then? Marlon Billy just kicked him. He just kicked him in the head for no reason. He's got to be sent off. He's got to be sent off. He's got to walk for that. He just bolted him in the head for no reason whatsoever. Well, to be honest, it's not like Marlon Billy either, is it? He seems always to be clean enough, but that's as it is, it's given another 6 tackles to Rovers, and this Doncaster side look dispirited, dejected, look like soon enough they're going to start de-eggering, because they can't keep it up for long. I mean, the bench is very, very quiet today, isn't it? It must be. St John Ellis must be on Prozac or something. Yeah, Andy Ellis has rejoined the game. Jimmy Walker's returned to the bench, and here comes Mikali Azu, who just produced a tremendous offload, and good support play by Andy Smith. And I think Doncaster are starting to stick it in now. We expected it, to be honest, but here it comes. They know that their season's over, so they may be looking to take 1 or 2 trophies away. As Owen goes, he could have offloaded then, could Owen, and I think Parker would have gone over, but he elected to hold on to the ball. As quick hands from Rovers, brings in Parker eventually, and Doncaster looking to drag him out. The flag's gone up, so it's going to be a scrum down. Eden feeds to Doncaster Dragons.
Yeah, I'd say there's about 20 minutes to go this match. The Rugby League Raw team over there getting a bit excited. I don't know what about. John Elm over there, he's come suited up, full suit. I think he's certainly shown me and Rob O'Prani today. I mean, yeah, I think we ought to have a talk with Rovers about our kit for commentating, don't we? Yeah, Yeah, it's all right, mate. Yeah, and some money even. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And we missed that because of the frivolities. Manson's been pulled out, and he's obviously done something wrong. It involves Graham Anfuff, which is sorry, not Graham Anfuff, Graham Allroyd, which is well, you can't avoid it once in a while, can you, Rob? As it is, there's a relief finding kick there from Graham Allroyd, and it's Andy Fisher looking to take the ball in. He's well and truly wrapped up by Phil Hasty and Andy Smith. A great tackle, this Andy Smith. It's Jamie Boville puts a good tackle in, and this Dean O'Loughlin.
Yeah, just a quick point, the penalty count's quite even today. It's about 5-4 on my count anyhow. Allroyd brings in the flying fullback there, but well covered by Kingston Rovers, and Doncaster looking dangerous. They're moving the ball. It's with Hanford who brings in Fisher. Fisher's got away. They need to get him down. He's looking to offload his Fisher, but he held onto the ball. Moana feeds Hoff. Allroyd, they've got men over now of Doncaster. They must score, and they have scored. And Doncaster go over for their third try of the game.
Yeah, I think it was.
Doncaster Dragons, number 3, Alex Muff.
Well, it's Alex Muff. I know he deserves the try, doesn't he? You know, he's managed not to smack anybody hardly at all today, which must have took some doing for him, I tell you. Anyway, as it is, it's the score 37 points to 14. There's 23 points in it. Very subdued Doncaster, what? 60, maybe 70 over there. Yeah, it's about 22 minutes left of this game. We're up to about the 58th minute. Rovers certainly took the foot off the gas a little bit, which and they get the kick, so that makes it a 21 points difference. Certainly seen stranger things happen in this game of rugby league nowadays than teams come back from this, but Rovers look to be so dominant in this match that it looks unlikely.
37, Doncaster Dragons 16.
Anyway, as it is, it's Craig Poucher putting the ball down on the tee. Looking for a long kick into that left-hand corner by the looks of it.
Replaces number 11, Jason Netherton.
Yeah, big kick into that left-hand corner is open for a mistake, but it's well picked up, and it's in the hands of that very hard-working Dean O'Loughlin, who's had a better second half.
Yeah, Jason Neverton's just left the field. Looks as though he may have taken a little bit of a knock. Jimmy Walker's come back on. Not quite sure what will happen tactically now, because usually when Walker comes on, he goes to the hooker. That's a great kick by Allroyd. He's got a real chance of a 40-20, and he's nailed a 40-20. And well, the next 5 minutes could be a crucial stage of the game, Sam, because if we let them back in again here, they're within sniffing distance. And on the balance of play, you've got to say, well, how can that be? Because Rovers have bossed this game from start to finish, but Doncaster have still managed to put 16 points on the board.
Well, you know, that Alex Muff, if he gets a sniff of a try, is in there, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, as it is, the ball's coming out to Allroyd, who's passing the ball off to the right. It's passing once again, and it's bounced off. Probably too fast the ball, and pulled the ball out, and it's play on. Certainly, I would have said if it weren't play on, it was a penalty then, but the referee said play on, and it's in the hands of Jamie Boville, who looks to take the ball in and takes it in big, and meets a good three-man tackle. Andy Ellis looking to the right, Phil Hasty trying to make a little jinking run, but he's running at the wrong two players there. He's making straight at Anfuff and Andy Fisher. Ball in Jamie Boville. He's taking the ball up. It's on the fourth tackle, and Rovers have just about got up to the halfway line. Wants to get in the hands of Mance. The Rovers have really took the foot off the gas now, aren't they, Rob?
Yes, Seabold, the ball just swam straight out of his grasp there and gifted Doncaster possession, and they're still in Rovers half of the field, so they're asking the questions of this Doncaster side. They're still trying to get the ball into Moana and Allroyd, and Fisher and Anfer for staying out wide and looking to cause damage down the flanks. There is Allroyd and there is Anfer. And Anfer offloads superbly. Moana pushes, good tackle, Mikali Azul. Doncaster offload and it's forward pass. And the big hit from Mikali Azul was the one that put a stop to that move. He absolutely caved in the Doncaster player there. He knew he'd been hit on that occasion.
It really mullered him, didn't he? He got the ball out in desperation and it was slightly forward. The whole crowd in the ground said it in unison. Then I think the touchers had to respond to it. As it is, it's let Rovers off the hook a bit, and the ball's out, and Ali McLeod's having a bit of a run down the middle, but he's well watched by Graham Allroyd, and he tackles him well. Puts a bit of extras in. Nick Pinkney, he wants a bit. He's taking it up, takes it straight into the face of Peter Green, but he's well held.
Yeah, good work by the two wingers there, taking a bit of pressure off the forwards. Nick Pinkney's on a hat-trick, of course. Be looking to go over for his third try of the game as penalty. Anfer, as usual, involved. And Rovers will just say thank you very much. Seaball just pops that one into touch, and Andy Ellis will look to launch this attack. Here is Seaball running crossfield. Takes the ball to about 23 metres out from the Doncaster post. There's a gap there for Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker! Oh! Yes! Jimmy Walker! Well, he should have offloaded to Andy Ellis, but he had the strength to reach over and ground the ball down himself. And Jimmy Walker has pushed Rovers beyond 40 points.
Tell you what, the gap was that big then that I reckon even James Walker could have got through that. It was massive. It was about 15 yards across, and Jimmy Walker went storming through it, took on the fullback, right, beat him up for support, just filled in, but used his strength in a three-man tackle to just stretch out and put the ball down to give Craig Pouch what his second easiest kick of the match, and his Pouch is so far 100% in this match, which is a fantastic achievement for a Rovers player lately, considering some of the performances of lately had at kicking. And there it goes, straight through the post, and it's OKR 43, Doncaster Dragons 16.
Yeah, 7 tries, 7 conversions to the reliable boot of Craig Poucher. And the Paul Manson drop goal. And Rovers look well. Why not go for 50 points now? Probably didn't expect it before the game. I think, to be honest, we was expecting a Rovers win, but we did put 50 points on Doncaster at their own ground in one of the Ariba Trains games, where we had a real golden spell in the last 20 minutes. This is a Doncaster side who thought they could come here today and really give Rovers a match. And Mikali Azul takes a high shot as he goes through. Penalty to Rovers, and it was Fat Boy Gareth Anfer. It looks like him up the goon. He's done a chunk or whatever it's called.
There's no doubt about whether they are an handsome side, this Doncaster Dragons side. Anyway, as it is, there's a number 12 there. Seaball taking the ball in. Ellis giving the ball out, and it's I think Jimmy Walker who takes the ball in. He's getting up to the danger zone here. He's 15 yards away. Here's the danger man. Manson a fantastic ball out to Hasty. Hasty passing the ball out to Parker, but he's well wrapped up by a three-man tackle.
Yeah, Doncaster taken back a good 10 back. Patrick has Hasty scoots off to the wrong side and where he's offloaded straight into the hands of a Doncaster player. Not quite sure what Phil Hasty's intentions was on that, but whatever it was, it didn't come off, and Doncaster have got possession and Rovers have conceded a penalty, so the pressure's off as far as Doncaster Dragons are concerned.
Yeah, this match is somewhat petering out as a contest now. that last try by Rovers certainly sort of put the nail in the coffin for Doncaster. Any hopes of a comeback, really. There's a lot of complaining going on by Doncaster now. Anford running in there trying to get the ball out, but he's well held there by a three-man tackler, still trying to get the ball out. He's coming out to that man Graham Allroyd, who slips the ball out to Marlon Billy. And Marlon Billy knocks his own man over and he's well held.
Yeah, he actually knocked Fisher out the way to get that. He's absolutely desperate to get the ball, is Marlon Billy, as Moana fires a ball out. That must have been forward to the winger. It looks at least a yard forwards to the pass to Dean Colton. But players allowed to go on, and Hoff brings one to Moana. Moana's sizing up the Rovers' defence. He's looking for support. There's no support with him. It's the fifth and last. Doncaster running out of ideas, running out of options. Allroyd, well, that's a good kick, but it was offside. I think there was no need for a big screen there. You could clearly see that scrum half, Chris Off, the ex-Swinton player, was a good yard in front of Graham Allroyd when he dinked that little kick through. So Rovers will just steady the ship, they'll put the ball to touch, and they'll get one or two of these forwards running forward.
319. 2-3-1.
Good attendance there. Rovers 2,319. Could certainly see it. We had to queue at the bar to get a beer, which, although we approve of good attendance, it would be nice if the commentators could get served a bit quicker, you know. But that's what usually that leads to us being a bit late in the second half. But there you go. As it is, it's Andy Ellis with the pass the ball to Hasty to Manson. Manson get the ball out quickly wide to Paul Parker, who brings the ball back in. He's looking for Phil Hasty again. On Phil Hasty jinx. He goes round. He goes round one. Goes round two. He's out nearly away, but he's just well held there. They always give a bit of extras to Phil Hasty, but he's not bothered. Frank Watini, he takes it in. He takes it in straight, he takes it in big, and he's well held up, and it's the fifth tackle just on the halfway line. Ball looking to go to Phil Hasty once again. He puts a good ball out. There's a kick there, and it's going to... Oh, the ball's gone to Andy Ellis. He picks it up, and he's gone flying in. It looked like it was going to go to Nick Pinkney, but they were just backing up with numbers there. Missed Nick Pinkney at McLaren, and went straight to Andy Ellis, and he's picked up and he's got in for a great try.
Yeah, Rovers deciding to run the ball on the fifth tackle. The little dig kick went through. It was absolutely intended for Ali McLaren, who made a bit of a hash of it. He missed it totally, but it popped up for the supporting Andy Ellis, who had the simple job of running in unopposed for Rovers' 8th try of the game. And Rovers extend this massive lead now to 47 points to 16. And Doncaster are going back to South Yorkshire with their tails well and truly between the legs. Season over, and Rovers look forward to next week and well, another knockout playoff game.
Yeah, my sad video man here enjoys Alex Muff's name very much indeed. Anyway, as it is, it's a missed kick there from Craig Bouch, who gets the bump from the bullet the other side. I'd say there's 5, maybe 6 minutes of this match to go, and the scores at Old Kingston Rovers 47, Doncaster Dragons 16, and we really have torn this side. This is certainly the cleanest I've seen this side play this year, and I think they had to really, because their reputation and everything was on the line. There's a nice shot goes in there, but it's ignored on Bovell. He's not bothered. He gets up and looks at the ref. Manson's got the ball. It's out to Phil Hasty. The number 6. Allroyd tries to get in quickly on Hasty, and he's well wrapped up. And Ellis getting the ball out to Frank Watini. Frank Watini takes it in big. Graham Manford gives him a slap, but he's not bothered.
Yeah, he's done well in his couple of spells on as Frank Watini. He's not shirked anywhere. He's took the ball up to the big guys in the Doncaster side, the Walkers and the Handfuffs and the Fishers. Good ball out from Hasty. There's men over for Rovers here. Oh, McLaren! Ollie McLaren! He's going for the line! It's Ollie McLaren! He's going to get there! Oh! Superb Rugby League football by Hull Kingston Rovers! And Ollie McLaren goes 40 metres, steps inside, beat the cover. Rovers crossed the 50-point mark. Well, it's been a good all-round display. That just topped it off.
That was vintage McLaren, wasn't it? It was just passed out on that left-hand side. A superb ball, just slipping over the top of the sliding defence. Popped it out, drew the centre, popped out Ollie McLaren. He took that full-back on, went round him. Alex front bottom tried his hardest to get after him, but he was nowhere, left for dead. And Ali's put the ball down, left yet another difficult kick for Poucher. Poucher won't be bothered. The score's Hull Kingston Rovers 51, Doncaster Dragons 16. And what a time to do it. This is going to be on national, well, is it national? BBC One on a Friday night. Probably if you bought this DVD and found it out, you'd probably be pissed off.
We've now got an interesting statistic that we've got three Rovers players who could get an hat-trick. We've got Nick Pinkney who's on a hat-trick, we've got Alistair McLaren on a hat-trick, and we've also got Andy Ellis who could get a hat-trick, so there could be a little mini competition going on here in the last 7 minutes or so. Well, of all the players to kick to, they've kicked it to Paul Fletcher. Oh, he's offloaded as Fletch. I think it's Manson, and Rovers are up to the halfway line on tackle one. That's got to be play on. Walker offloads to Seabold, who brings in Poucher. Poucher's away. Oh, he should have looked inside, should Poucher. But he takes the tackle, and Rovers are just ripping Doncaster to shreds now. Phil Hasty steps back. Oh, there's a gap for Ellis. Ellis. Desperate defence by Doncaster. Graham Allroyd. As Seabold moves it to Hasty. Manson, kick through, chance. Oh, gathered in by Doncaster.
Yeah, it was, given Rovers has all been offside there. The fullback for Doncaster setting it up quick to get that ball then. There's 6 minutes left on the watch here, according to the unofficial timekeeper, Paint Boy. Usually pretty accurate. He's keen on his stopwatch, his Paint Boy. As it is, it's the number 15, James Donkey Walker, taking the ball up, and here's another lumper off, chucking the ball out. Oh, and he's knocked it on, and it's got to Seabold. Believe it, would be all at this rate, wouldn't we? Hey. This line's Rovers Clouds in full voice, and there's no surprising, it's amazing the difference since we got rid of Mal Reilly's made to this side. Just when Martin has been having this free rein, he's shown why he was coach of the year last year.
Yeah, absolutely superb performance by Hull Kingston Rovers. They've scored 10 tries. Poucher should be okay for his 8th successful kick. And Rovers 57, Doncaster 16. It's been an absolute rout. Season is well and truly over for Doncaster, and dare we dream of playing the Bradford Bulls and the Leeds Rhinos here at Craven Park next season.
I'd be worried about playing Rhinos, but Bradford Bulls ain't so sure about, you know. It's alright when they're just taking on half a side from St Helens, but if they played a side that knows how the full strength of OKR, they wouldn't know what to do, and would they? it's all sort of well wrapped up. There's probably about 4 minutes left to the watch, and it's Rovers are looking for the 60, and Frank Wuttini, he's running in, he's taking it in, he's got all 4 forwards round him, but he's not bothered, he's gearing up, he's playing it, and there's a smack goes in. What a surprise, Rob. You know?
Yeah, it was Anforth, but just before that, James Walker was getting a bit irritated. He's probably still upset that his brother's eating soup through a straw, probably.
I thought he had muff in his face.
Rovers looking to finish with yet another try. On my watch, there's about 2.5 minutes remaining here at Craven Park, and Rovers are camped where they've been most of the game, and that's in the Doncaster Dragons danger zone. There's a chance now, Beauville! Oh, it's another try! Frank Wuttini goes over to the right-hand side of the post. It has been an absolute massacre. St. John Ellis, take your team home. You've been well and truly whipped.
St. John, give us a wave, mate. Give us a wave. This must be one of the most embarrassing days of his life. It must be. I mean, the mouth they've been given about Rovers ever since last match. And what have we done? We've come back and answered in the best way possible. We've stuffed them. There's the kick going over to make it. Listen to this. OKR 63, Doncaster Dragons 16. I'll say that again. OKR 63, Doncaster Dragons 16. It's fantastic, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, no one could have predicted this scoreline today.
Doncaster Dragons 16.
As I was driving to the game today, I was always confident that Rovers would come away with a victory, but the level of performance and the scoreline has far exceeded what we could have really hoped for. Oh, Paul Fletcher, one bounces off him. And he's lost out in the scramble for the ball, and Doncaster looking to have the final say. Rovers will be desperate to keep them out. They certainly don't deserve to score 20 points, do they, on the balance of play?
No, I'm just looking at it here. I think St. John Ellis has got a cameraman up here looking at him, and he's got a cameraman down there looking at him. We could get like a 3D image of him, couldn't we, if we had the right technology, you know? Have it in your telly. Have him in your living room. Oh, St. John, I love you. Anyway, it's in the hands of Moana. He is, yeah, like Rob says, on hat-trick, and to be honest, he maybe doesn't deserve to be on the losing side because he's a good player. But as it is, he certainly is on the losing side. It's off, he's chucking the ball out, and it's to that Peter Green. He's tried hard all match, but coming stuck, and it's that off, he's trying to use his size to get through. So he tries to go from Psycho and comes worse off. Ball going out, it's in the hands of Moana. He half gets it, Frank goes in, and it's the big pudding goes in, but he's woken up. Well, James Walker Pudding goes in there and gets the try right underneath the post, and to be honest, you know, he probably maybe deserved that try, Rob. He's tried hard all match. Fatty giving us a wave from the crowd over there, and in good faith, in good jest, he did wave over to him, so hands off to him, you know. And the most relieved man on the pitch there is looking to walk off, and I think he should be walking up for the last time as Doncaster coach if it was anything to do with me, because his team's been a lot cleaner this match, hasn't it? But the man's a disgrace to rugby league, but we'll leave that for you to decide. You'll see what happened in the last DVD.
So in this National League One playoff game, it's a convincing victory for Hull Kingston Rovers with tries, 2 to Nick Pinkney, 2 to Alistair McLaren, Paul Manson with a try and a drop goal, Phil Hasty with his customary try, 2 tries to Andy Ellis, Neverton with a try, Jimmy Walker with a try, and finally Frank Bottini with a try. Good to see both sets of players shaking hands. Rovers look forward to next week now with, well, massive confidence. I've been paint boy, and Rovers are through to the next round.
Yeah, and I'll be in Aussie Rugby, and I'll just leave you with this, that the final score was OKR 63, the Dirty Dragons 16. Well, here we are. You've heard our voices often enough. I'm Aussie Rugby. I'm the one who keeps it clean, obviously, and and I'm an Aries. And my favourite player is Phil Hasty. How about you, Rob?
Well, I'd rather talk about Doncaster, and I think that centre, Alex Muff, is a bit of a twat.
I'd agree with you, Rob. He's a twat. I couldn't give a toss what you said. Probably cut out later. If we can just have some beeps there, please. Anyway.